Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to create a data table by using auto layout. I always create auto layout by using frames instead of rectangle because it is easier for me to convert into auto layout. The shortcut to create a frame is F. Once I create the frame, I make sure the width and height is each 100 pixel and I'm going to rename the frame to um, main column. Once I rename the frame to main column 1, I'm going to convert this into an auto layout where you right click and convert this into an auto layout. Shortcut to create auto layout is Shift A. Once I convert this into an auto layout, I'm going to duplicate this main column 1. You can duplicate the content by hitting Ctrl D. Once I duplicate this, I'm going to select both the elements and combine that into a single auto column container. Once I combine both the element into an auto layout container, I'm going to rename the container as column container 1. Once you create the container, you can see the real benefits of auto layout. Since this is a column based table which you are trying to create, I'm going to shift the direction to vertical. And the gap which I doesn't need between the rows, so I'm going to make this as 0. So the gap between the auto layout elements is going to be 0. So here what I'm going to do is I'm going to rename the first content inside the container as header and the second one as row 1. To differentiate between header and row, I'm going to create a different background color for each of the item. Here I am using Bootstrap 5 design library. It is an open source library where everyone can utilize this. On the reference table above, we have a 6 column layout. Before duplicating this column container into a 6 column, where I am trying to add some text for the header and row so that it will be easy for us to maintain consistency. We doesn't have to worry about the differences between a body width and the header width. So we are going to fix that in a moment once we create an entire table. Now we are going to give some padding value to both for the header and the body. So the existing padding value is around 10 pixel left and right and 10 pixel top and bottom. So here I'm going to give a padding value of 16 pixel each side, left and right, and 12 pixel top and bottom. Padding value is nothing but the space around the content inside a container. Here in our scenario, we have a 12 pixel of padding top and bottom and a 16 pixel of padding left and right. The same padding goes to body also. So we are going to apply padding top and bottom as 12 pixel and padding left and right as 16 pixel. As a reference table above, we are going to create a 6 column table layout. So to achieve that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate this column into 5 times so that we will be having a 6 column and select all the columns and create a auto layout. By creating a auto layout, we are creating a common container for all the 6 columns. So I don't need any gap between these columns so that I'm setting the gap to 0 inside this table container. And I'm just changing the header text to 1, 2, 3 relevance. So we are done with the header and body text changes. What I'm going to do is I'm going to rename the container to table container, which comprises all the vertical columns from starts with the header text 1 to header text 6. Once we rename the container, I want to rename the column which is there inside the container. I want to rename the column 1 to 6, which has a common name of column container 1. So select column 1 to 6, hit Ctrl R. In the match option field, select the container which you want to match. In the below replace field, give the text which you want to replace with. In our scenario, I want a column name like column container 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, this is exactly what I want. Now it is time to bring some consistency between the header width and the body width. What we are going to do is, first we are going to set the column container 1 width attribute to fill. Once you give the fill width attribute to fill container, after that we are selecting the header and we are changing the width attribute to fill and the same goes to body. So we are changing the width attribute to fill container. Now you can see the header and body has the same width. Previously it does not. This is because once you start giving the width attribute to fill for the child element inside the container, this is going to take the entire width of the container. For an example, when I increase the column container one width to 160 pixel, the header and the row both occupies the entire space of column container one width. This is because both header and row has the width attribute of fill container. Let's change the column width to fill container for all the columns which is inside the table container. So it will be having a equal width of header and body. So as you see above, each column contains at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 rows. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate the rows to 4 times. So we will be having a 5 rows inside each column. So I'm going to accommodate this change to each and every column. Let's play with some of the basic auto layout responsiveness. I'm going to increase the table container width to 800 pixels here. After that, I'm going to collapse all the layers inside the table container. Then I'm going to select all the columns inside the table container. Totally we have 6 columns, and I'm going to change the width attribute to fill container. Once I give the fill container to the columns as a width attribute, this is going to exactly distribute the width between the 6 columns, and it's going to occupy the table container width of 800 pixels. Then again, if you increase the width of table container to 1200 pixel, all the column containers which is expand their own width to fit the parent container width. We are going to see one more added advantage inside auto layout. What if I want to change or swap the position between column 1 and column 6? So we can do it easily in auto layout. All you have to do is you have to press shift and right arrow. So it will change the layout position from 1 to 6. So yeah, this is how we can change the position. So if you want to replace the position, or if you want to rewind the position as it was previous, all you have to do is shift and left arrow. Yeah, not only horizontal, also you can play with the vertical position of rows. For example, by holding shift up and down arrow, you can place or switch the position of the row layouts. These are some of the basic advantages of creating data table by using auto layout. In the upcoming video, what we are going to see is we are going to create a complex data table by using auto layout. Stay tuned guys. Thanks for watching.